Hello there guys, Feng here, and welcome to a channel update, and much needed one in point of fact, because I think the last one was before Christmas, wasn't it, or just after Christmas? Either way, before we crack onto that, the game in the background that you are watching is The Long Dark. It is a winter survival game that's currently in early access. It's obviously in alpha, beta, whatever. It's actually a really cool game, and I really wanted to cover this game previously, but unfortunately due to technical issues, in fact you can probably tell the technical issues at the moment, it's running at like 20 frames per second outdoors. It's not great. It does make it quite hard to commentate and play at the same time. But the funny thing is, once you go indoors, it bumps up to 200 frames. It's really weird. Now, I think part of the reason for this is the game is obviously not as greatly optimised as some other games, but it's also probably due to the fact that I really need a new processor now at this point. I'm still using an AMD FX 4170. It's not the best processor by today's standards. In fact, it's probably considered mid-range by today's standards. I mean, it didn't previously. It was more bottom end of the top end of processors, but now it's not. It's pretty mediocre. So I need to upgrade my chip very soon, but I also need to upgrade my board as well. I've got a gigabyte board. I can't remember the model number, but it's at best, and it doesn't allow for crossfire either. So we need to sort that out. Anyway. This game itself is actually pretty damn cool, and there's a lot of nice features in it. Basically, you've got to make sure you survive. It is a survival game after all, you know, that's kind of the point. But weather is has quite a big impact. You need to keep yourself warm. You need to keep yourself dehydrated. You need to keep yourself dehydrated. You need to keep yourself hydrated. You need to keep yourself fed, etc., etc. It does use a nice calorie system as well, which is really cool. I don't think I've seen a game use that yet. Actually, use calories as a way to gauge your energy level, which is really cool. Really cool indeed. But until it gets a bit better optimization, or until I actually give a new processor, which I'm hoping to get fairly soon, I'll cover it at a later date. Okay, so what's been going on? So obviously Kata, we've been covering a lot of Kata on the channel. That will probably still continue for a while. 0.C come out a few weeks back. It was quite a big update. A lot of new stuff. In fact, since the 0.C release, there's actually been quite a lot of new stuff in the experimentals too. A lot of balancing, a lot of fixing, and quite a few nerfs in some cases as well. And you know, I'm actually kind of cool with that. Always love seeing new stuff and making the game hard. It's always a good thing, considering how easy it was back in 0.8. But yeah. Anyway, that's kind of not what we were to talk about. You already know Cataclysm's on the channel, and you already know what's going on with that. We're here to talk about the other games that I really want to cover eventually, once they get updated and whatnot. So, 7 Days to Die. So, Alpha 11 has been delayed by quite a bit, and obviously there is quite a big reason for this. They have changed the engine. They are now using Unity 5, which is quite a huge leap from what they were using previously. Now, there's actually already some new features in with it, as well as it looking more pretty, which is great. And I'm really looking forward to covering that once it comes out, which should be soon, according to the Tumblr post made by, I think his name's Joel, isn't it? It's Joel, I'm sure it is. I've been keeping tabs on how it's going on, and it's looking really cool. It's looking really cool. The features are looking really nice. Especially the crafting system. The crafting system's had a slight revamp. You start off crafting shit stuff, like poor quality, and obviously by carrying on crafting, you know, basically grinding, you're gonna get, you know, being able to craft better stuff, which is cool. So that's kind of the first elements of the RPG stuff that we've been waiting to see for quite a while now. So that's fantastic. Now, a game that I've covered on the channel previously, but you might have forgot about it. The Dead Linger. Now, of course, I haven't really covered this game for quite some time for one obvious reason. It hasn't had an update for quite some time. Again, the developers have actually moved to a new engine. They're now using Unreal Engine 4, which is a vast improvement over what they were using. I can't remember if they was using Unreal Engine 3 or an in-house one. I actually can't remember, so don't quote me on that. But there's a bit of a hiccup. One of the reasons why I really wanted to cover the Dead Linger, and one of the reasons why I really brought it to the game in the first place, was because it had the promise of this really vast, massive, randomised generation of the world, and it looked really cool. I mean, if you've been following me, actually with the Dead Linger videos, you'll have seen how much it progressed. Yes, it wasn't greatly optimised, but that's to be expected. But all the new features and stuff that was coming in was looking really good. Unfortunately, that's no longer the case. Since they've changed to Unreal Engine 4, they've now changed it so that it's no longer dynamically random generated. It's just static. A lot of people are pissed off about that, and you know, I was to begin with as well. But I can understand why they've done it. It was taking fucking forever to update the stuff with the current systems they were using. I mean, it took them... How long was it to get the 7 to 8, or was it 6 to 7? It was nearly half a year, and there wasn't that much of a vast improvement. So I couldn't understand why they've done that. It's exactly the same way 7 Days to Die has done it as well, to upgrade the engine so they can actually get more stuff done quicker. Except obviously 7 Days to Die is still randomly generated, whereas Dead Linger isn't going to be no more. That's really unfortunate. But we will probably cover it anyway still, you know, obviously. So what else? Rebuild 3 has had a massive update. There's now campaign mode, which is really cool. There's been a lot of new features added to that since the last time I've covered it. I really wanted to cover that today. I was actually going to do that with my next recording session, but unfortunately I decided against it for one simple reason. The campaign is only half done currently. So I've decided to wait until the campaign is completely done, or at least mostly done. The last thing I want is saving in save thingies. Yeah, I forgot the word for it. I'm having a blonde moment, but that's fine. Yeah, incapability, whatever. So yeah, I'm not really too worried about that, but I do want to cover that once the full campaign comes out, which might also be the full release. I mean, it's in 0.9 at the moment, so who knows? We might see the full release soon. I know quite a few of you liked the rebuild stuff, so I'm definitely going to be covering that again once the campaign stuff comes out. It's actually been a lot more enjoyable of a game as well now with these new features. It's a lot more random. It's just fantastic. It really is. What else? Mad Games Tycoon, that's getting updates like no tomorrow. I mean, it's like every other day the devs are posting up updates after updates after updates. Some of them are only small, but some of them are quite big. And the actual the last update that come out made the game tons harder. You have to research B plus A, AA, AAA games now, and that actually limits the amount of features that you can use in a game, which in turn makes the game a lot more, you can't just go, oh, I'm going to include all these features because I fucking want to. You can't do that no more. You have to be very selective on what you use, and I think that's actually at the benefit of it, because at the end of the day, you want all these features in. It's going to cost a hell of a lot more to get all these features in. That's just going to be the case, you know. Oops. So yeah, I'm actually really looking forward to covering that for the third time, but I'm not going to do it just yet because it's still there's been a lot of save wipes the past 2 weeks, so I'm gonna leave it for a while until, you know, there's a little bit less of save wipes, and then we'll see what happens after that. I think what I might do actually is I might wait until the new rooms are done. Last but not least is Killing Floor 2. Now, I'm not too sure how I'm going to cover this yet. It's going to come out in early access first. It's due out, in the devs' words, 2015. We know it's going to be soon. We just don't know how soon. Yeah, so I'm going to be covering that when it comes out. The only other game that I've put so many hours in, apart from Cataclysm, is Killing Floor 1, and I'm probably going to do exactly the same with Killing Floor 2, more than likely. It's already looking beastly. The graphics in that are absolutely gorgeous, and the only worry I've got is that the computer won't run it properly. So we'll definitely have to see about maybe upgrading to a better processor, but again, we'll see what happens. So you know what I want to be covering the next few months, depending how the updates go. I think 7 Days to Die will probably be the next game that's updated first, so that will probably be the next game that will be covered. Maybe there might be some other games that I have missed previously, and I'll look into them as well. So that's it then, guys. That's the channel update. Thanks for bearing with me these past few weeks. It's been a very tough time for me. For those of you that haven't watched the recent videos, the other half has got, still has, got a trapped nerve in the back. It made movement very difficult, so I've had to do a lot more chores than usual. So yeah, that means I haven't had as much time on my hands to actually record stuff, so I do apologise for that. But at the end of the day, that's life. You know, you got to do what you got to do. Okay then, guys, so I'll see you next time.